Well, hello everyone and welcome back to the workbench at Kovac Enterprises. And in the Halloween build intro from my previous video, I wanted to make a decision between two of the resin kits, which was between Morticia and Vampirella. And after thinking about it for a while, I decided to go with Morticia. From Addams Family, played by Carolyn Jones. I went ahead and we'll bring her in, and basically what I did was did the initial process of washing her down with some dish soap and water to get the mold release off, and let her dry. And so now basically what we'll be doing is doing a cleanup of all the flashing on her and her parts. And incidentally, this basically, the resin kit here has only 4 parts. Her main figure you see right here, the bottom half of her dress, and her 2 arms. So being that this is my first resin kit too, I decided I wanted to go with her just to get a good feel of it, and with all the help of the fellow modelers out there who have done Morticia, I'm kind of using their guidance as well, namely Chris Cortell's take on Morticia. So I will be reviewing his videos just to, like I said, get some input. So with that being said, upon closer review here, see if I can bring this in. Hopefully it's not blurring. Bring my little point here. Once again, you know, we have a little crease here in her forehead. It looks like almost like a scar, but we'll sand that down, get it nice and smooth. If you look at the profile picture here on her nose, a little flashing on the tip of her nose, we'll take care of. You know, around her neck and her breast area as well. If you look down here on the bottom, you can see we'll have to probably end up cutting that off and making it flush with the upper part of her dress here, so that will be probably taken off. You can see here along either side of her dress we have a nice little seam line here, so we will go ahead and smooth that out as well, that side as well as this side here as well. You can see right here, hopefully, there's some 3 ridges here that are protruding from the back up to her here, so we'll end up cutting that out and smoothing it out and getting rid of it. Like I said, that's kind of for the main figure. That's what we'll be looking at. And upon closer inspection on her arms, we'll kind of bring this in here. You can see there's some flashing around the finger nails, her little pinky finger here, and you know, part of her dress. And maybe you can see this too. We also have our seam line going down the middle of her arm, up to her forearm, and then finishing off on her hand. So like I said, we'll be removing all of that to make it nice and smooth. So that's her left arm. Also, you know, of course, also there's a seam line here on the bottom too as well. So that's her one arm. Same thing goes for her right arm too as well. Apply the same things with as far as removing any kind of seam lines and flashing around the hands and part of her dress here, and get up nice and clean and prepped. As far as her bottom part of her dress here, you can see how much flashing there is exposed around the tentacle areas of her dress here. So we'll be cleaning that up using a Dremel with the proper tip on it to clean this all up and make it nice and smooth. And with that being said, we'll be right back. Stay tuned. And we're back, and as you can see, we're back in the garage where I am in the process of cutting back some of the resin material that is around the lower half of Morticia's dress. At this point, I pretty much trimmed back most of the part to the tentacles, and basically this is what I'm using is the Dremel Multi-Pro I have here. It has variations of the speed, so I can control the way I trim the resin back. As you can see here too, is I have this particular attachment that I use to go in between the tentacles itself, and once I fine-tune everything, we will go ahead and replace it with this smaller attachment. But I just kind of want to show you what I was doing. And with that being said, of course, out here I do have a mask on to protect myself from the resin, so I don't inhale it in my lungs. And so right now I'm just going to kind of trim it up a little bit and kind of show you the process that I do it with. So stand by. Okay, so as you can see, just did a little bit more cleanup around it, and it's looking pretty good. So right now what I'm going to do is bring over Morticia, because we want to kind of take care of her bottom half here. That's got a nice piece of flash that is protruding on the lower half there. So I'm going to go ahead and get set up here, and we'll be able to go. Alright, got most of this stuff knocked down on our lower half here. We're going to go ahead and give her a test fit and check it out. So we'll be right back. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and stop at this point and call it a day for this particular episode. Been running a little long right now, but I pretty much got the preliminary stuff where I have it sitting pretty much flat on the dress on the lower half. Just need to do a little fine tuning, but you get the idea. So with that being said, stay tuned for the next episode, because what I'll be doing is probably go ahead and start drilling a couple holes here on the lower half and into Morticia for some pinning and to reinforce it. So until then, we will call it a day. So everybody have a good day, and we'll catch you later.